New tonight at 11, Forest Park police make an arrest in a deadly crash that killed a 25-year-old woman at the end of April. Now, this comes nearly 3 weeks after investigators said they found no negligence or foul play in the crash at Forest Parkway and Frontage Road.
There are no words to describe the devastation that we are experiencing by the killing of our beloved Amiya.
She was the brightest light in their first love.
Amiya has always been a beautiful soul full of love, laughter, friendship, a passion for animals, and a fierce love of her family.
The 25-year-old, the oldest of 7 siblings, her spirit just like anyone in her family.
We know how to make sure anyone else around us is having a good time. That's exactly what she was doing on Saturday, April 26th.
Cunningham was going out with friends when she was hit by a car at the intersection of Forest Parkway and Frontage Road.
Maya's death will not be in vain.
Forget stranger danger. What if the person who ends your life isn't a shadowy figure in an alley, but someone sitting right next to you? Someone you call friend. Amiya Cunningham had her whole life mapped out. But on April 26, 2025, she felt a vibe shift, a gut feeling she couldn't shake. She sent a desperate, haunting text to a friend. "The vibes are off. I should have rode with you." 1 minute later, she was dancing at a red light, carefree and beautiful. The next, she was dragged 40 feet down an Atlanta street, crushed under an SUV, driven by the woman who was supposed to be celebrating with her. This isn't some messy hit-and-run story. This is a cold, calculated execution, captured on high-definition surveillance video, planned and carried out by the same people who smiled in her face. You're about to hear the final, chilling seconds of Amiya's life and the incredible betrayal that followed. Stick around, because this story will make you look twice at every single person in your inner circle. If you're here, you already know the deal. You're part of the Mind Twist family, and you know we don't hold back when we're digging for the truth. Before we go any further, seriously, if this is your first time seeing one of our deep dives, hit that subscribe button right now. We're on the road to a massive 1 million truth seekers, and trust me, you need to be here to see what we uncover next. Thank you for making this community what it is. Now, let's get into the betrayal. First, we need to talk about Amiya Cunningham, because she wasn't just a victim. She was a force. 25 years old, the oldest of 7 kids in Atlanta, Georgia. She was basically the central pillar of her whole family.
Amiya has always been a beautiful soul full of love, laughter, friendship, a passion for animals, and a fierce love of her family.
She was the one they called when they needed something done, the one who was fiercely, almost foolishly loyal. Her Aunt Chandra described her as having the kind of warmth people never forgot. I mean, the girl loved animals so much, she dreamed of starting her own beauty school just so she could have a sustainable career. She was the definition of someone who was putting in the work, juggling family, responsibilities, and finally chasing her own dreams. She was financially independent, resilient, and man, when Amiya walked into a room, she was the life of the party. Her one major struggle? Saying no. She was too loyal. She was too good. And that incredible loyalty, it's what allowed her killers to get close enough. The date was April 26, 2025. It was supposed to be a huge night. Her little sister's prom, her aunt's birthday, and most importantly, Amiya had just enrolled in beauty school. 3 perfect reasons to celebrate. 3 reasons to let her guard down. She had absolutely no idea she was walking into her own funeral. The plan was simple. Pre-game at a friend's house, then hit the infamous King of Diamonds nightclub. The crew included Amiya, Deja, her neighbor and 12-year sister friend, Mickey, the third quiet woman in the group, and Alexandra. Alexandra is the woman whose name you need to remember.
May 21st, 1996, Alexandra Watkins was born. And 29 years later, specifically on April 26, 2025, she will be known to the world as Alex. This Alex, the woman who ran her friend over with the car in Atlanta, Georgia. 25-year-old Amiya Cunningham. Now let's get to know Alex. Alexandra Watkins graduated from Douglas County High School back in 2014 as an honor student. And shortly after that, specifically in 2017, she became God's gift to earth, a mother. Now we all know all relationships don't work out, but don't get it twisted. As a single mother, Alex is a go-getter. This did not stop her from being successful and doing what she had to do. She eventually got her license to become a patriotic phlebotomist, in which she mostly works around children drawing blood. Now that's very important to know, because we need to know what kind of trusted people are around our children. Now, friends and family would describe Alex as a very giving person. She'll give the shirt off her back to you. She'll surprise you with gifts just because. That's her love language, giving gifts, and she'll never ask for anything in return. And on April 29th, 2023, the universe said, hey, let's give you your gift, your knight in shining armor, Ladarian Larkins, in which he manned up and took and Alex and her daughter and said, hey, I got y'all, no matter what, through thick and thin, through highs and lows, till death do us part. Now, Alex has always been a big believer, constantly talking about God. God goes, growing and glowing. Prayers go up, blessings come down. God can do a lot before January 1st, 2023. Lord, I thank you in advance for all the blessings, big and small. But behind the surface of all the God talk lies another side of Alex. I know what it is about you now. I know our inward stay. You're toxic. This is what she posts on her page of who she is. Now, a lot of her friends will say in the beginning, she'll give you a lot of gifts to build trust with you. But then later on, they'll notice a lot of evil freaking actions are going behind the scenes and they wouldn't even recognize her. Even pertaining to her marriage, on the outside, there was relationship goals. Everything looked perfect. But behind the scenes, they're in marriage counseling because Alex is never satisfied and couldn't keep her legs closed. Infidelity grew, not only with other men, but other women. She received everything she wanted and had the perfect situation, but still it wasn't good enough. But yet Ladarian said, you know what? I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna give you another chance. Just don't put me in a bad position again.
When Amiya walked into that house, everything was good. T, the host, and a close male friend later said the energy was normal, good even. Amiya was right in the middle of it, laughing, dancing, and just vibing. She was the center of attention, as usual. But normal can flip to deadly in seconds when you're surrounded by the wrong people. About 30 minutes in, the energy changed. T noticed the girls Amiya brought were getting agitated. They weren't agitated like they were ready to leave. They were agitated because Amiya was getting all the shine. Witnesses described a little tiff between Amiya and Alexandra. Nothing major, just enough to plant that tiny venomous seed of what was coming next. This is where you have to stop and think about your own circle. Who looks at your success as not as inspiration, but as competition? Who gives you gifts, but talks about your failures behind your back? Because sometimes murder starts with something as small as hurt feelings and professional jealousy. When it was time to roll out, T offered Amiya a ride in his red truck. He genuinely cared about her safety. But Amiya, trusting her childhood friend, chose the silver car with Deja and Mickey. She figured, I'll be fine with the girls. Wrong decision. That loyalty, that misplaced trust, it sealed her fate. The cars lined up, T in the red truck leading, Alexandra alone in the black SUV, and Amiya trapped in the silver car with her two friends, Deja and Mickey. The silver car was the trap. As they hit the highway, T missed his exit. Suddenly, it was just the black SUV and the silver car, the predator and the prey, traveling in formation. That's when the terror hit Amiya. At 11:43 p.m., she sent that final gut-wrenching message to T. I should have rode with you. The vibes are off. Her soul was screaming danger. Her body knew. But what do we do when our gut screams? We text about our discomfort instead of acting on it. We choose politeness over survival. And that decision, refusing to listen to her intuition, was the final mistake that cost Amiya her life. This wasn't road rage. This wasn't some random drunk driver. This was coordinated elimination, and the whole thing was about to be caught on camera. Amiya's last words, the final cry of her instinct, were completely ignored. And what happened next is going to make you sick. The two remaining cars, Alexandra's black and the silver car carrying Amiya, Deja, and Mickey, rolled up to a stoplight at Forest Parkway and Frontage Road. The light turned red. They stopped. Alexandra in front, Amiya directly behind her. This was the moment. This was the location they had chosen.
Intersection of Forest Parkway and Frontage Road in Forest Park, Georgia.
The intersection where both of the cars ended up here at Forest Parkway and Frontage Road. Amiya got out of the car and started dancing in front of that car. This was all caught on camera here on the GDOT cameras.
Now, here's the million-dollar question. What on earth was said inside that silver car? Deja and Nikki weren't witnesses. They were Alexandra's accomplices. They had 12 years of history with Amiya. How do you convince your friend who just texted that the vibes are off to step out of the car at a busy intersection and start dancing? Did they tease her? Did they say, "Come on, Maya, don't be a square. You're the life of the party. Show us what you got"? Did they egg her on knowing exactly what was about to do? We may never know the exact words, but the result is chillingly clear. Amiya, always the loyal one, always the entertainer, opened the door.
At 11:44 p.m., she stepped out. She walked right up to the front of Alexandria's black SUV, turned her back to the vehicle, and started twerking. She was lost in the moment, trying to bring the positive energy back, trying to prove she was still the fun one. The police tried to call this a tragic accident, but you watch the surveillance footage, taken directly from the Georgia Department of Transportation GDOT camera, and you see something else entirely. You see the setup. Amiya looks up and sees Alexandria behind the wheel. Did the smile freeze on Alexandria's face? Did Amiya see the look of pure, unadulterated hate in her eyes? Did she realize in that split second that she had been delivered to her killer by her so-called best friends? The car didn't roll forward gently. The engine revved. Alexandria accelerated, plunging the SUV forward. Metal met flesh. Amiya's body disappeared under the vehicle. The car didn't screech to a stop. The driver didn't slam the brakes. Alexandria kept going, dragging Amiya's body for over 40 feet until she finally rolled free, left broken and dying in the middle of the intersection. Alexandria just sped away. She didn't stop. She didn't look back. That is not panic. That is calculated malice. Meanwhile, where were Deja and Mickey? They were in the car right behind her. Did they scream? Did they rush out to help? No. They stayed, they watched, and when the police showed up, they had their story ready. Minutes later, T, the guy Amiya should have ridden with, arrived back at the exit. He saw the flashing lights and the commotion. He started recording on his phone, thinking, "Oh man, another Atlanta accident." He got closer, the phone still rolling, and that's when he recognized the body. The friend who had texted him her fear just moments ago. The guilt must have been suffocating him. First responders were frantically working on Amiya. They revived her 4 times. 4 times she fought to come back, and 4 times she slipped away. She was officially pronounced dead at Grady Memorial Hospital. But here's the sickest part of this whole scene. Alexandria, the driver, didn't flee for good. She returned to the scene 2 hours later with her husband. Her husband! Get this, it was their 2-year wedding anniversary that night. Instead of celebrating, she spent the night plotting and executing a murder, and then she brought her husband back to the crime scene, trying to play the concerned citizen. Oh, officer, such a tragedy. Hope they catch whoever did this. The sheer, disgusting audacity is impossible to process. The Forest Park police initially bought the story. They brushed it off as an accident, a tragic hit and run. They even posted a public statement on Facebook, quickly deleting it when the questions started getting too loud. Amiya was about to become another cold statistic, an unsolved hit and run that nobody cared enough about to investigate properly. But here's why we do what we do. Here's why this platform matters. While Alexandria was getting her impounded SUV back from the police and trying to look innocent, Amiya's family and the internet were mobilizing.
So she did leave the scene of the accident and then apparently came back 2 hours later with her husband, and the police impounded her car, okay? This has been told from me from a family member on the dad's side, okay? First thing. Second thing, update, is that the 2 girls who were in the silver car, they lied to the police and pretty much told the police like as if Maya was a regular pedestrian and they don't know what happened to her. They don't know who hit her. And that was my whole point, okay? The girl Deja, her sister has messaged me. She's had friends messaging me saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, all this stuff. Oh, that's her friend, da-da-da. That's not your friend. Okay, because if that was your friend when the police got there, you would have said, yes, officer, there was another car here, a black Jeep, a girl that we had just got done drinking with ran her over. I don't want to hear shit about nobody saying, oh, maybe she didn't see her, da-da-da. Listen, even if I give her the benefit of the doubt, and that's a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, you mean to tell me that this girl ran her over with her truck and didn't immediately stop? So you didn't just hit her, then just stop. You kept going. Did we see the same video? If I was in my car, okay, let me just make an example. If I was in my car driving and I hit anything, okay, I don't care if I hit a damn dog, a raccoon, nothing. I'm stopping and getting out and looking and seeing what I did. I'm not gonna keep going. In that video, she clearly hit that girl and kept going with her body under the car. Then for you to flee the scene, because that's what you did, you fled the scene for 2 hours, then came back with your husband, is what I'm being told. Right? I don't know if she went back to the scene, they called the police at the scene, and they apparently, towed her car away. But what I'm being told is that you left the scene of the accident, and what I'm being told is that her childhood friend, you didn't tell the police the truth. You didn't tell the police the truth. You didn't tell him, you didn't tell anybody. Oh yeah, there was a car in front of us. We all just left from this house having a pregame. The girl who was in the car in front of us, she kept going, hit Maya. Maya was under her car and kept going until Maya rolled from up under her. Why didn't you stop? That's my biggest question to the girl Alex who was driving. Why didn't you stop?
Amiya's aunt Chandra became the voice of justice, refusing to let her niece disappear. Then the G.dot surveillance video leaked. It was raw, unfiltered, and undeniable. Millions of views, hundreds of thousands of shares. Justice for Amiya started trending. The video proved that the driver had zero intention of stopping. The police narrative of no foul play shattered. Every comment section became an impromptu investigative board. The police tried to hold the line, but the public outrage was a firestorm. Protesters showed up at the station. The pressure was unbearable. The system was crumbling under the weight of digital evidence and public fury. And what about Deja and Mickey, the 2 accomplices? They looked the police straight in the eye and lied. They claimed Amiya was a random stranger they didn't know who just happened to be dancing in the street. 12 years of friendship erased in a few seconds of calculated lies. They attended Amiya's funeral knowing they had delivered her to her killer. How do you look at a grieving mother knowing you are partially responsible for her pain? It makes you question humanity itself. This wasn't just betrayal. It was a full-blown conspiracy fueled by jealousy. On May 17th, 2025, 3 weeks after they declared the case closed and after relentless public pressure, Forest Park police finally made an arrest. Alexandria Larkin, 25 years old, was taken into custody. The charges were finally filed, first-degree vehicle homicide and leaving the scene of an accident. Her lawyers, trying to salvage the situation, immediately begged the court for bond. She's a mother, they pleaded. She has a child to care for. But the judge wasn't buying the anniversary plotting killer act. Bond was denied. Alexandria Larkin was locked up pending trial, where she belonged. But here's the injustice that still burns. Deja and Mickey? They're still walking around free. No charges, no arrests. They lied to police during a homicide investigation, helped position the victim for the kill, and faced zero consequences. How do you charge the person who pulls the gun, but let the people who loaded the gun walk away clean? This case is a stark warning about toxic female friendships, about jealousy that festers until it explodes into violence. Amiya's death should be a mandatory seminar for everyone who still keeps a friend around just because of shared history or because they don't want to hurt feelings. I want to know what you think. Do Deja and Mickey deserve the exact same homicide charges as Alexandria, or are they simply guilty of being the most cowardly traitors in Atlanta? Let me know in the comments below, accomplices or cowards, and tell me what punishment you think fits their crime. Amiya Cunningham died because she ignored every single alarm bell her body was screaming at her. She felt the danger, she texted her fear, but she stayed anyway. She chose politeness over protection. She chose loyalty over life, and it killed her. I'm telling you this not just to share a true crime story, but because I need you to understand your gut feelings aren't suggestions, they're survival mechanisms. When someone's energy shifts around you, pay attention. When the vibes feel off, leave. When your instincts scream danger, don't text a friend about it. Remove yourself from the situation immediately. Because the people who dismiss those feelings, who constantly make excuses for toxic behavior, who try to keep the peace with people who secretly hate them, they are the ones who end up like Amiya. This is exactly what happened to Shanquella Robinson in Cabo, who was also murdered by her friends on vacation. These stories are becoming disturbingly common. This isn't just about Amiya. This is about protecting yourself from the smiling killers in your own life. Look around your circle right now. Who is always competing with you? Who gets angry when good things happen to you? Who makes those subtle little comments designed to tear you down when no one else is listening? Who would you truly trust with your life? Some of you watching this right now are thinking, this could never happen to me. My friends are different. That's exactly what Amiya thought. That's exactly what every victim thinks right before they become a victim. I know most people will watch this entire video and change absolutely nothing. They'll keep the toxic friends around. They'll keep ignoring the red flags. They'll keep trusting people who don't deserve it. They'll keep choosing comfort over safety. But if you are smart enough to learn from Amiya's death, if you're ready to draw that line in the sand and prioritize your own survival over someone else's feelings, then you need to be part of our community. The choice is yours, protection or pride. Choose wisely. If you want to stay safe and learn how to spot the predators in your life before they strike, hit that subscribe button right now. We extend our deepest prayers to the family of Amiya Cunningham. We hope they get the full, complete justice they deserve against every single person involved. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Mind Twist True Crime. Stay safe out there.